you know how students want to get credit for what they do. You see, John was the president of SNCC, and he needed a ride. He didn't have a car. Guess who had a car? Bob Mans. And Bob said, "You gonna buy my gas to go and come?" He said, "Yeah, I'll buy your gas to go and come." Bob was ecstatic. You know why he was ecstatic? You know, at that interpretive center, Bob lives right behind it. And here in the South, probably in Missouri too, on Sunday we cook those big meals. Big meals, all their favorite things. Bob knew his mom had cooked. Not only was he gonna get to eat, he could bring some back, and somebody else was paying for the privilege of him getting it. So he got in the car and brought John Lewis to Selma. It was almost time for the march, so he decided to stay and march because he knew we were not going to Montgomery. So when you see the pictures of John Lewis and Hosea Williams leading that march, Bob Mans is right behind John Lewis. You'll recognize him because he has on crop pants and they weren't stylish then. Okay? And he never went back to college after that. Let me see your rock. Linda Lowry. She was 14 years old on that bridge on March 7th. 14. She received wounds that required 26 stitches. And then still, 3 weeks later, got up and walked every step of the way from Selma to Montgomery. She had her 15th birthday on the second day in Lowndes County. She woke up and she was 15. I know because she's my sister. Let me see yours. She knew she had my rock, didn't she? She said she gonna get some brownie points, but I'm in the hood. If they come after you, I'm leaving you, I'm telling you. Okay? Well, you got my rock or not. I stood on that rock right here on this old ragged cement, March 7th, 1965. Prior to walking right out through the way we came, up to that bridge to be beaten by law enforcement officers. I was 11 years old. I had no idea when I was standing here that we would be beaten. Marching was fun to me. I saved the cement so you could hold that history, and I'm quite proud of it. Isn't it pretty? Don't lie like cheap roads. You see, in our communities, particularly African American communities, we continually tear down the old stuff. And then we have to search out our history, because when those people are gone and new things are there, nobody remembers the history. There's no connection. And a tree cannot grow without roots. And our children need roots. So I fought to save this cement so that you could stand on it, because I knew you were coming. We had a mayor in 1964 who remained our mayor until our new mayor was seated in the year 2000. He didn't want anything to do with civil rights. He would have sent you to Sturtevant Hall too. He fought everything. When I knew they were going to resurface over here, I said, please don't tear up the cement. It has this historic value. And he said, yeah, right, and proceeded to try to tear it up. I went to court and I filed an injunction prohibiting them from taking it up. He went to court, probably just picked up his phone and called and had the injunction lifted. I got smart. I went to the Historic Commission. If any of you ever had to deal with the Historic Commission, you know they don't do anything fast, period. Anything. So that injunction is still in place today. And that's been since 1997. Well, in 1999, we elected a new mayor who took office in 2000. A friend of mine, George, you'll probably see him later, called me and said, Ann, that's my hood name. You can't call me that either. He said they're going to tear up the cement this time for real. They're going to put a daycare in that building. And I said, what can I do? I couldn't really fight the daycare because it would go against what I believe in helping children. So I didn't want to see headlines that said museum director hates children. So I had taken my vote and elected our new mayor, right? You know my one vote elected him. Child, when you put that much importance on your vote, we'll have some real change, because I had no problem picking up that telephone. Kurt, yeah, it's JoAnne. I'm fine. Listen, they're gonna tear up the cement. Oh, you will? He said, I'll help you. I said, okay. Talk to you later. Whole week went by, he didn't do a darn thing. The following Monday morning, when he got to City Hall, I was standing there like this. He gets out of the car and goes into his office. And he picks up the telephone. He calls General Service. He said, go down there and pick up that cement. They must have asked him, pick it up. He said, yeah, I said pick it up. Yeah, take jackhammer. I don't care what you take. Just go get it. And move it anywhere she wants to move it. So my cement's not up under there. Okay? Because my mayor picked it up. And it's stored out across the river till I can find some way that when your great-grandchildren come to Selma, they'll be able to hold that history in their hand too. And connect to that history. Even if they can't stand on the same ground you stood on, they can connect because it will become real. Now you can keep that rock or you can throw it back down. But if you throw it down, I'm sorry, if you keep it and take it back to Missouri, put it where you can see it. Put it where you can see it every day. Because when you see injustice committed against anyone, no matter who they are, and you feel like you can't do anything, go pick up that rock and take from it the strength that ordinary people stood on that rock. Ordinary people, just like yourselves, stood on that rock and walked right up to that bridge and made history that not only changed Selma, but this entire nation. And get up off your behinds and do something. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Let's go.